Alright, what's up? Today we're going to talk about why most men feel depressed, the psychology behind it, and what to do about it, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, I have been through this. So, the symptoms of depression: you wake up feeling tired, zero energy. Even after, let's say you sleep for 10 hours, right, and you wake up at noon or later, you still wake up tired. Very weird, right? Another symptom is essentially mindless scrolling and escaping reality. So it could be social media, it could be video games. As soon as you wake up, you don't want to do anything productive. You just want to immediately get a dopamine hit. Okay? So another thing would be you have no ambition. You're just killing time. Like, literally, time means nothing to you. You have unlimited time. You don't care. You don't want to do anything positive, anything that takes effort, any of that, okay? So another thing would be you have zero motivation. So you don't want to try, you don't want to get out of this negative feedback loop, and it's just a vicious cycle. Go to bed late, wake up late, feel nothing, feel empty, have no energy, and you're stuck in this type of predicament. So you could also, if it's really bad, you might feel really just completely numb. Okay, so you don't feel anything, you don't feel any positive emotion, you don't feel any negative emotion, just like Like, if it's really, really bad, you might feel more than just completely numb. I'll put it at that. Okay, so you'll be addicted to comfort and you'll be afraid of effort. So effort sounds like absolute torture. You don't want to work out, you don't want to eat anything healthy, you don't want to do anything difficult. You only want to lay in your bed, sit in comfort, and do nothing. So you can't focus, you can't commit to anything, you can't even really start anything. And deep down, you basically feel broken or numb or just lost, right? So those are the symptoms, okay? A lot of guys feel like that in their early 20s, throughout their teens, maybe even 30s if it's really bad. So why do you feel like shit? Why do you feel like this? Well, number one, you have a lack of purpose, right? You don't have a reason or a spark for anything in your life, right? You have probably no goals, no guidance, nothing to work towards, nothing to look forward to. So if you have no direction, you essentially feel internal chaos. You don't have any kind of guiding force pushing you in a certain direction, so you're just kind of just, I'm here, I'm existing, let's see whatever's right in front of my face, and that's it, right? So you also usually have negative self-talk. This could vary between, I don't feel so good, to I'm a complete piece of shit human being. So beyond that, the problem here is, well, there's multiple problems, but zero discipline. You have no self-discipline. You can't stick to anything positive, any routine. You have no positive habits. You probably don't even brush your teeth or, shower. If it's really bad, you're just not doing so good. So, and a big part of this is caused by not having any structure. So you probably don't have a job that you have to clock in and clock out, or any type of sports or activity where you have to be somewhere at a certain time, because that helps with time management, right? If you just have an entire 24-hour period of nothing going on, you're just kind of floating around. Dopamine abuse is a huge part of this. If you're chasing after the next scroll, the next piece of junk food, the next jerk session, then you're not going to have the discipline, you're not going to feel that motivation to try anything, because you're just going after the easy, low-hanging fruit, which is kind of destroying you. So instant gratification. Another part of this is, obviously, it is psychological. So if you have a weak identity, you don't know who you are, you might even have other people's opinions in your head telling you nasty things, right? There was a time when I was really depressed. I could barely get off the couch, could barely get out of bed, because I had a lot of shit-talking haters, and We've all been there. It sucks. So you probably don't have any role model, any support, or any physical, or maybe you were physically or mentally abused. So if those are, how you're feeling, you're not alone. A lot of people go through that, and there's a way out. Trust me. So how do you kill the depression loop? How do you stop this, right? Because this is a negative feedback cycle. This is, just a series of bad decisions that just spiral you down. Okay, so a lot of things need to happen, but you need to essentially decide on a mission. You need to decide, I am going to get my shit together, right? I'm going to get into fitness. I'm going to look for a job. I'm tired of this shit, right? I want to improve. You kind of have to hit rock bottom before you can bounce up, as sad as it is to say. So the but the place to start for men is to start working out hard and often. Like, you should be in the gym every day. Or if you don't have enough money or don't want to be in the gym because you don't like people and all these things, you can at the very least start running, start doing push-ups, start doing sit-ups, something to get your body going to help stimulate your mind and release that hormone that makes you feel like, I put in the work and I got something good out of it, okay? So anything, a tiny little leg up anywhere, and it's starting with this right here. So you need to cut dopamine, and this is how I think of it. If you're stuck in this kind of negative feedback loop, you cut the easy dopamine off as a punishment to yourself. So you're like, all I do is scroll, jerk off, play video games, eat junk food. I need to cut this shit out. I need to punish myself. So you need to literally throw your phone in a separate room. You need to go outside and go for a walk. You need to do something to separate yourself from your vices, right? A vice is anything negative that could be gambling, drinking, porn, video games, junk food. It shouldn't be right in front of your face, because if it's right in front of your face, you have no discipline. You're just going to consume it, right? So from there, you build a routine, right? Every day, I sleep until noon, I sleep until 2 p.m. But I notice I feel good at night, right? So every day at 8 p.m., I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to work out, right? Start there. That's it. You can do nothing else for the day, and you hit the gym, and at least you feel like, okay, at least I did something for my body. Starting that. Building routine, okay, next after you do that for a few weeks, right? Next, I'm going to apply for one job a day, Doesn't have to be a lot, because as long as you just get the ball rolling over time, you feel good by accomplishing, and you do more, okay? Another huge thing which so many people are missing in life is brotherhood or community. So, for me, I train martial arts, right? I go to an MMA gym, and I see my brothers, right? The same guys I train with for years, okay? It could be a sport, could be the gym, could be any activity, could be going to the fucking gas station every day at the same time and talking to, whoever is working there. It's the same person. But find a brotherhood, find people to suffer with, okay? Another thing is learn skills. So instead of mindlessly scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you should be looking consciously, trying to learn skills. So learn how to market, learn psychology, learn business, learn coding, learn anything useful, right? Anything that interests you. So you'll feel like, I'm learning something, I'm improving. You could start with a 5-minute video. If you can't even handle that, a minute, right? But start somewhere to get your foot in the door to start breaking down, this negative feedback loop, okay? Another thing that I've done for years is journaling. So you can journal or track your progress on these things. I like to just write out the date, write out my top to-do lists, maybe my goals, or anything else that I think, will help write down and get out of my head what I'm thinking and put it onto pen and paper, because thinking about things in your head often gets scrambled and you forget them But if you actually put it down on paper, you write down, let's say, your goals, your to-do list, it's right there in front of you. And, it's a tangible thing right in front of your eyes. And really, going back to the hitting rock bottom is the way to bounce back up. You need to get to a certain point where you're fucking angry at your life and how you're doing, and that you want to improve and grow. So if you're completely happy with this, you're like, nah, just wearing the same tank top for 7 days in a row and not showering, and this is okay. You're not even going to want to start any of this. You need to get emotional, and you need to channel your anger into a positive sort of snowball effect. Okay, so that's essentially the symptoms, why you feel like shit, and then what to do about it. Start small, build something positive. It can just be one repetition, right? One push-up, read one page of a book. And then over time, it will get better. So I hope this video helped. If it did, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.